walks in just blocks away from where he grew up. But Davey Moore is fighting a legend, the Panamanian legend, Roberto Duran, who is big in New York. I'm Dave Fontempo along with Tony Page. And Tony, for Davey Moore, this might be a road fight.
The fight might as well be in Panama because Davey Moore is nowhere near being the favorite in this fight. Neither the crowd favorite or the betting favorite.
In fact, here he is, the champion, entering the ring first.
I hope he got paid for that because that's not the way it usually works.
Champion always enters the ring second, but Roberto Duran, Manos de Piedra, the legend here in Madison Square Garden. And he comes in the side, and there they are, the Panamanian flags. We are ready for quite an emotional night of boxing at Madison Square Garden. Duran having titles in the lightweight, welterweight class, now moving up and hoping that if he can win this, he'll oppose marvelous Marvin Hagler in the middleweight division. So they are the stakes as Moore and Duran get set to go. We are ready for the introductions from Michael Buffer.
Welcome to the main event from the evening from Madison Square Garden in New York City. Top Rank Incorporated presents the WBA World Junior Middleweight Championship. The judges for tonight's bout are Fernando Huizo, Kazumasu Kuwata, and Yasaku Tachikawa. The referee from Mexico is Ernesto Magana. And now, in the red corner, with a record of 76 wins and 4 losses, with 57 knockouts, ranked 7th by the WBA, weighing in at 152.5 pounds in the blue trunks from Los Santos, Panama, Robe르토.
Here's how they stack up. Moore is much younger. Duran with the experience. Moore 5'10", will have the height edge. They're both just under the junior middleweight limit of 154. And Moore with the 4 1/4 inch reach advantage. We'll see how he uses it. There is the Panamanian legend, Roberto Duran. And across the ring, a man, Tony, who may have had to go through immigration to get to Madison Square Garden.
Davey Moore grew up not too far where I grew up from in the Bronx, and he's a minor legend in the Bronx because he made good. But here's a chance to put himself on the world stage by beating a revered legend in Roberto Duran.
Duran coming in off the loss to Leonard, off a few uninspired performances, had been discarded by the boxing world, then went into the offices of Top Rank, was given a second chance by Teddy Brenner, the matchmaker, who prevailed upon Bob Arum, the president of Top Rank, to give Duran another shot. And Duran responded, has come back and recaptured some old form, but at a higher weight.
He finally, it seems like he's focused again, and if they call on the hands of stone, but here's a chance for him to work the body on Davey Moore. This is a homecoming for Roberto Duran. He won the title, the lightweight title, against Ken Buchanan in this ring. He got his first professional loss against Esteban de Jesus in this ring, and here he goes for another title in the same Madison Square Garden ring against Davey Moore.
And a storied arena enjoying a bit of a renaissance here, because the casino industry springing up, taking many big fights away from arenas at this point, but Madison Square Garden, the logical site for Moore and Duran, and it is sold out.
Now, Davey Moore is a lot quicker than Roberto Duran, but he's letting Duran set the pace. Duran has gone to the body a couple of times, which if you look at the two body structures, Davey Moore looks a little thinner, even though they weighed the same. Duran, a little more weight around his middle, but it's to absorb the blows.
Moore with the jab on the outside, Duran coming inside. Moore winning the junior middleweight championship after only a handful of fights. So from a professional experience, he yields a lot to Duran, who comes in, lands a short right hand. Moore with a good uppercut.
They're rumbling inside, and that's more Roberto Duran's fight.
Duran loves it. Uppercut, then he holds on. Good short uppercut by Roberto Duran. And Davey Moore even looking a little winded here.
Dave, you're right. He should be using that jab and using his legs. That's the one thing he has is youth. Duran has experience, but Davey Moore should be giving him angles and moving around. Don't stay in front of Duran.
Duran, even at 154, has all the guile, just not quite the speed that he did when he was one of the most murderous lightweights who ever lived. So Duran in his advanced weight class, a good first round against Davey Moore.
超高速エンターテインメントカートチャンピオンシップ第8戦はデトロイトの市街地コース。同じ市街地コースのロングビーチではディフェンディングチャンピオンザナルディがトラブルを抱えながらも本領を発揮。今回も見せるかザナルディマジック。カートチャンピオンシップ第8戦デトロイトは7日日曜日深夜3時30分から衛星生中継でオンエア。カートがライブで見られるのはスポーツアイ ESPN だけ。
氷上の格闘技 NHL アイスホッケーカンファレンスファイナル。激戦を勝ち抜いてきた4チームにさらなる厳しい戦いが待っている。果たして栄光のスタンレーカップの行方は。NHL アイスホッケーカンファレンスファイナルは6日土曜日午後7時からバイリンガル放送でお送りします。
98フランスワールドカッププレビューを見て素敵なサッカーグッズをもらおう。現在オンエア中の98フランスワールドカッププレビューでは毎回1人ずつ番組独自のドリームチームのメンバーを発表しています。このドリームチームに選ばれた11人の選手名を全てハガキに書いてご覧の手先までお送りください。抽選でナイキ製またはソニー製のサッカーグッズをプレゼントします。
Roberto Duran and Davey Moore set for round 2. This is Dave Fontempo along with Tony Page. The site, Madison Square Garden, the mecca of boxing and an electric atmosphere.
Surprising to see people standing in the background and nobody staying down in front. Everyone is just peeking between people just to see these guys. Duran is right in front of Davey Moore. Moore is a better boxer than this. He should be moving to make the old man Duran move a little more.
The legendary Duran taking a jab there from Moore. It will be up to Duran to close the distance and fight this from in close. And Moore tries to swarm, but Duran is such an expert at tying up and doing so many of the little tricks.
And he takes a tremendous shot, which a lot of people forget, and they overlook that. He can get inside and take one of your shots just so he can land one of those pulverizing left hooks to the belly or bring it up to the head. You can see Moore is laboring every time he gets hit to the body by Duran's shot.
Duran very patient, looks very fit here. And though the hand speed might be down a bit, he gets the big right hand in, and Moore is hurt.
He's clinching, Dave. He got popped to the body and the head.
The quickness of Duran setting up the right hand, and he is a tremendous puncher at any weight. And Roberto Duran going to the body and showing his experience here.
And he's just pounding on Davey Moore. Moore needs to spin, get off the ropes. He's trying to, it's almost like a slugfest right now, and that's not Davey Moore's fight.
The only problem Davey Moore has is he's in against a legend.
A legend with a big left hook.
And Duran takes a good hook from Moore, who found some space, but now Moore is breathing heavily. He takes a big shot, and Duran just very good on the inside against Davey Moore here, just taking it to him. This is a mugging.
Oh, he spun him around. That was such a slick move, and Davey Moore was surprised that he was against the ropes.
Duran working that body. Good hook by Roberto Duran, weighing down the bigger opponent, and Davey Moore looks more like the challenger now instead of the champion.
He's taken a lot of punches from Duran. He landed one good right hand to Roberto Duran, but he took it real well and kept firing.
Duran working the ribs.
Davey Moore's trying to work the ribs also, but that's not his fight. He's always been a headhunter who can outbox a guy.
Davey Moore needs to be on the outside, and the Duran chants erupting from the throng at Madison Square Garden. The revered icon, Roberto Duran, off to a blazing start against Davey Moore. And a little bit of extra activity, and Moore says to Duran, go to your corner. So what if there's a language barrier? The sign language works.
Both fighters trying to throw uppercuts to do some damage here. Look at Moore's mouth wide open. Takes a good shot, and look, he's backed up by Duran. Roberto Duran did the right thing. He jumped in there, saw the opening. Davey Moore did the right thing and clinched because he was hurt.
Moore able to come back after Duran got him, and then something after the bell to show his fire. And then watch Duran look at him, and then he says, over there, in whatever language he wants. Roberto Duran speaking English and Spanish. So we start the third round, and the crowd being treated to a vintage display by Roberto Duran, going after what would be his third title. He's won at the lightweight and the welterweight division.
That right hand hurt Davey Moore. Davey Moore's strategy is wrong in this fight. He's trying to knock out Roberto Duran. Not too many people do that. He just needs to just try and win a boring fight, which means using the jab, moving away. Don't try and slug with Roberto Duran. That's not your style, and that's what Duran loves, because he doesn't have to run after you. You're right in front of him so he can pound the body.
Duran pounding downstairs. And we would see throughout his career that some big men did do well against him. Tommy Hearns.
Yep.
But Moore trying to fight like Hearns, but without the same thunderous right-hand power. Moore needs to be using the jab. And Tony, he is so tired so early.
And look at Moore's eyes. They're taking a beating from Duran's punches.
This is just an absolute whipping thus far that Duran is putting on Moore. And Moore can't contend with the speed of Duran on the inside and just the accuracy Duran shows.
Duran just stays right in front of him. He gets great leverage because he doesn't have to move away from Davey Moore. Davey Moore's right in his power zone, so he just plants his feet, winds up, and throws a good shot to the body and brings those uppercuts right up the middle on Davey's chin.
If Roberto Duran had issued a request about how this fight would be waged, this would be it.
As you figure, he's going to have to spend a couple of rounds cutting the ring off to slow Davey Moore down. Davey Moore's playing right into Roberto Duran's hands by staying right in front of him and taking a body beating.
And the shots to the body, the hooks to the liver and rib area on Davey Moore have been tremendous shots by Duran here. And as Moore tries to come on, Duran's smart enough to tie him up, and he doesn't panic.
Just a day in the office for Roberto Duran. You can see he's very much in control, knows what he's doing. You see a little desperate look in Davey Moore's eyes already. That's why he's trying to go for the knockout, which is something it's hard to do against Roberto Duran.
And they should be cautioning Davey Moore, collect yourself, go outside. You're the taller fighter. Make Roberto Duran come to you. Then he would have a better opportunity, but Davey Moore is getting an infighting clinic from the hands of Stone. Roberto Duran, even at an advanced weight class, showing the hands of Stone thus far, doing the number on Davey Moore. So, it's been the master against the champion.
Well, this is playoff hockey. It's time for heroes to step forward. It's time.
Oh, baby, what a play!
Let's go! They score! Score! Oh, wow. How's this for excitement? This is playoff magic. Oh, what a brilliant move. What a rocking hit. Go crazy.
スポーツアイ ESPN ウィークリーガイド。5日金曜日深夜3時からはインターナショナルサッカーナイジェリア対オランダを衛星生中継でお送りします。6日土曜日午後3時からはブラジルワールドサッカーアスレチックビルバオ対ブラジルをバイリンガル放送でお送りします。
We start the 4th round. Roberto Duran laying the leather to Davey Moore, the reigning WBA Junior Middleweight Championship in Moore's backyard of Madison Square Garden. But the throngs are out here adoring the master, Roberto Duran, and he's off to a blazing start, Tony.
He's doing everything right. He took one solid shot from Davey Moore. It didn't do anything. In fact, he spun Moore after that punch and continued to beat him up. Davey Moore's taking some tremendous shots to the body. Right eye is starting to puff up. He just doesn't have a clue right now. He doesn't know what to do. He's tried to slug with Roberto inside. He's gotten beaten. He's staying outside. He's getting beaten to the punch now.
So stay in the middle, right? Thing is with Davey Moore, he's never had to pay for mistakes the way he is in this fight.
This is an old-fashioned butt whipping that Roberto Duran is dropping on Davey Moore. This is back to the days when Roberto Duran was a lightweight and just tore through guys, and that's what he's doing here.
Davey Moore hanging in there with his guts, and of course he is the champion, but he's been hit with more body shots thus far in this fight probably than he has in his career up till now, and Duran staying still while Moore took a shot with a right hand at him. Then the heads come together.
I think if this was a sparring contest, they would have gotten Davey Moore out of the ring and just said, you don't have it today, come back tomorrow. Moore's got his game, but he just doesn't seem to have a game plan. He's got to throw some punches to slow Duran down, or at least move to make Duran move.
Moore trying in this round with the jab, but Duran then ties him up. So if Duran doesn't like the landscape, as he doesn't here, he ties Moore up, and then when he does like it, he fires those hooks. And I think, as you see an example of what we're just talking about there, for Davey Moore, he can't think that quickly.
No, he's trying to figure out how to outsmart a veteran, and he doesn't have the experience. I don't know if his corner can give him the right kind of game plan, but right now he's staying right close to Duran and not fighting back. And when he does, he gets beat to the punch and gets beat badly as Duran continues to tattoo that body.
Duran looks in great shape, and he's turning back the clock, showing some vintage hand speed. I mean, we saw him look bad against the likes of guys like Kirkland Lang and others when he was uninspired. But when Duran wants to fight, the crowd will sell out an arena and stand up to watch him.
Duran looks in great shape, not breathing heavy. It's like every shot that Duran lands to Moore's body makes Duran quiver. There's not a punch that has been able to slow Duran down. Good left hook by Duran to the head.
Good hook by Duran, and then the uppercut to follow it. And Davey Moore continues to have no solution against Roberto Duran.
world banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
超高速エンターテインメントカートチャンピオンシップ第8戦はデトロイトの市街地コース。同じ市街地コースのロングビーチではディフェンディングチャンピオンザナルディがトラブルを抱えながらも本領発揮。今回も見せるかザナルディマジック。カートチャンピオンシップ第8戦デトロイトは7日日曜日深夜3時30分から衛星生中継でオンエア。カートがライブで見られるのはスポーツアイ ESPN だけ。
Drexler outside, Maloney, Johnson at the buzzer!
Stay back. Off it comes to Chapman. Almost overthrown Chapman. Long shot up.
Before on the shot clock now, keeps it on the dribble. Russell's there. Here he is. Pull up 18-footer. Yes! And the buzzer! This place is going crazy! Oh! Nothing like the playoffs!
Roberto Duran waging a clinic against Davey Moore as we start round 5. The WBA Junior Middleweight Championship that Moore has is on the line and in severe jeopardy.
Davey Moore's legs very wide apart, like he's trying to feel the canvas. That doesn't bode well. If Duran comes rushing in, he's going to be hard-pressed to back away from him. Look at Moore's right eye slowly closing.
Duran returning to old form. You just cannot give him any advantage at all. And here he is, tactically superior over Moore, and a big right hand by Roberto Duran.
Duran standing right in front of Davey Moore, and Davey Moore can't fire, can't put any snap in his punches.
You know, the way this fight is unfolding now, if you see another graphic that says Roberto Duran challenger, you almost feel that it should be in quotes.
Yeah.
Because right now, it looks like it's his title that Davey Moore has to take away.
Well, Moore has to do so much to try and win this fight now. He has to start an offense. Maybe it's just a basic left jab and move. Just score some points. I mean, I have Duran winning every round. It's 40-36, a shutout.
Not only that, but Duran is hurting Davey Moore with these shots. And as you suggest, that Moore should be on the outside and just change the momentum a little bit.
Because you're giving Roberto Duran a chance to be Roberto Duran. You're just staying in front of him. You're not giving him any angles. You're not backing away to make the old man walk towards you. Might as well have been a 5-foot ring.
Duran taking full advantage, pounding the body of Davey Moore, then tying him up. Roberto Duran knows so many secrets, in the left eye of Davey Moore is closing rapidly.
Davey Moore just looks like he's slowly coming unglued.
And this, thus far, has the look, Tony, of a guy that's got too much heart for his own good.
And even when Davey Moore does land a good shot, nothing happens.
And there are 2 more attempts by Davey Moore. He gets inside and again is fighting Duran's fight. Moore holding, unloads a couple, but Duran with the head movement. Moore does land a good right, and Duran comes back.
It's a good round for Davey Moore, but he's paying the price by just staying right in front of Duran. Duran lets you land about 6 punches, then he starts to come on.
And nothing about Duran's punches are cheap. He's getting good solid uppercuts up the middle. And if you're looking for how a small guy should destroy a bigger opponent, Roberto Duran is providing the clinic. Davey Moore has had a terrible go of it so far through 5 rounds. And his corner will have something to say.
Give me about your wrist mouthpiece, all right? You got your pocket over there. Bring one on. Just throw it. With the right hand, left hook, and then do one more.
explosive atmosphere at Madison Square Garden for that man, Roberto Duran, as we start round 6. Dave Bontempo, along with Tony Page, the site Madison Square Garden for the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship. And Tony, between rounds, a little surprising, they did not tell Davey Moore to stay outside.
They said change the tactics a little bit, but didn't give him any instructions on how to change the tactics. And, you know, you ask a fighter, are you hurt? Are you okay? What's he going to say? Yeah, I'm really hurt. I don't think we should continue. Fighter's going to stay in there, but the corner has to give him something. You got to give him a blueprint so he can at least attempt to follow it. He should have told him, Leon Washington, his trainer, should have said, stay outside, use the jab, buy some time so you can get some rest. You should be able to understand when your fighter is tiring, and Davey Moore doesn't really have a lot in his gas tank.
And you shouldn't be asking Davey Moore if he's tired. You're exactly right. And, you know, that's not changing tactics a little bit to tell him to stay outside. That's a radical departure, and that's what was needed. So Davey Moore continues in the dark here. Duran lands a big right hand over the top. And I guess what Davey Moore's people did not realize, Tony, as a lot of people in boxing would not quite know which Duran would show up. Well, this is the vintage example.
So you never want to train for that. You know, I'm prepared if he comes in overweight and didn't train. Then if he shows up, as you said, the old Duran, the vintage Duran, you're in a world of trouble. You have to be prepared for the best. And as I always like to say, a couple of different game plans. If you stay inside and you get beat to the punch, you go outside. You keep changing up. You try and confuse the guy. And Davey Moore is making it so easy for Duran by staying in front of him and taking a pounding. Look at that face.
And not to mention the body shots, which you can't see the effect of those except for how tired Davey Moore is getting. And Roberto Duran is just working him over. This is a man against a boy at this point. The old Duran has shown up and absolutely doing a wonderful job to the body, the hook to the head, sneering at Davey Moore, unleashing some intimidation to go with the beating. Now Moore explodes, but he's in Duran's territory.
And all Duran has to do is move a quarter turn, and he's still in position to hit more, like right there. Davey is in no position to fire back. Davey Moore doesn't know enough to move around to get away from Duran's power.
Duran can slice the ring up into mini segments. Little movement, and he's in prime punching position. So, as Ray Leonard was against Roberto Duran the first time they fought, Davey Moore has been lured to the inside with the prospect of a slugfest. And as Leonard found out, it is a slugfest. He is losing. Roberto Duran continues to do the number on Davey Moore.
「世界のスポーツニュース」スポーツセンターインターナショナル。あなたの知りたい試合結果から選手の素顔まで、世界のあらゆるスポーツの最新情報が満載。世界のスポーツニューススポーツセンターインターナショナルは毎晩10時からバイリンガル放送でオンエア。
Yo, welcome to the 1998 NBA Finals! さてシーズンも大詰め、スポーツ杯 ESPN では1998ファイナルズを全試合オンエアします。ナビゲーターは私マイケル富岡、解説にはゼクセル総監督奥野俊一さんを迎えお送りいたします。アメリカ、いや全世界が注目のこのバトル、Don't miss it!
Round 7, Roberto Duran and Davey Moore. Duran trying to capture his third world title. This for the 154-pound division of the WBA, and he is off to a tremendous start. Absolutely looking like the master against Davey Moore, who is gutsy but outgunned.
Davey Moore is showing a lot of heart, and that's what gets a fighter hurt. The heart is fine, but if you're not going to put any punches behind it, you got a problem. He hasn't been able to slow down Duran. He hasn't been able to show a different tactics or what he does when he gets inside and goes outside. He just stays in front of Duran, throws feeble punches, and then Duran just tees off on him.
Davey Moore is not getting his left hand up there and doing the damage as much. It's coming back. He is wide open for right-hand counters. He's getting caught to the body. Duran finds numerous openings, and he is just wearing Davey Moore down.
And we talk about strategy of fighters. Davey Moore had the wrong strategy. He went to slug body to body to Roberto Duran, one of the best body punches in a long, long time. He lost that battle, but there's no other plan. Now he's sore. He's trying to stay outside and work his punches, but because Duran worked his body, Moore doesn't have the quickness in his hands anymore.
Now, if you've seen some of the other super bouts we've had in the ESPN series, you'll remember that, say, in Hearns and Leonard, that Hearns changed his personality when he was in the same situation that Davey Moore is in. But Davey Moore is on the inside here, and he is in deep trouble.
He needs to, it's funny, what Davey Moore should be doing is using his legs, but Roberto Duran took those away in the first couple of rounds by pounding that body. Now all Davey Moore has is shots to Duran's body, which aren't doing any damage.
And Davey Moore is losing the sight out of his left eye. It's closing. Duran is all over him. Body shots by Duran. Moore is wobbled, and Moore is holding on and totally exhausted.
Not a lot left from Davey Moore. He takes hellacious punches from Roberto Duran.
They'll have to think about stopping this. Seconds to go in round 7. Moore in deep trouble. Roberto Duran closing in. The crowd is on its feet. Duran unloading a clinic here on Davey Moore. Moore is holding on.
You're wondering what's keeping Moore up. You're wondering why the referee hasn't considered stopping this, because Roberto Duran is teeing off on Davey Moore.
And down he goes. Not much holding him up now. He'll have to get up. He hears the count. He barely makes it. And Davey Moore will make it to the end of round 7. But what a titanic price he will pay as Duran is all over him. And they really should stop this now.
No need for it to continue.
Let's see what they say in Davey Moore's corner. A big moment to decide the future of their fighter, as Roberto Duran and the crowd very happy. But in Davey Moore's corner, there must be concern.
Here's Roberto Duran trying to tee off, set the punch up, missed with the left, landed with the right. Down goes Moore.
And that's a combination of the power of Duran and the fatigue of Davey Moore. He catches him on the button, too, and then the big shot. With all the leverage coming forward.
Look, he just missed him with the left, caught him with the right. There's really no need for this fight to continue. Moore has nothing left.
Absolutely none. But if you look in the corner, they have not stopped this. And for Davey Moore, a terrible decision made in his corner.
His corner should have said no, thrown the towel in. There's nothing he can do to rally. Now you're asking a fighter to take a beating, which he shouldn't have to.
And not only that, when a fighter takes a beating, he doesn't need. How much does that affect his confidence and his motor skills down the road? Davey Moore has absolutely nothing and is just getting hammered with shots here. Big shots by Duran. Moore is not throwing anything back, and he is just taking, that's at least 10 unanswered punches now that he doesn't need to take. And Roberto Duran is absolutely destroying Davey Moore in this fight, and who knows what he's doing to the future of Davey Moore.
The referee should have stopped this about, a minute ago. Big right hand.
Referee's looking closer, but Moore holds on, and look at these shots by Roberto Duran. Why is this fight still going on?
The ref should get in there. Davey Moore's taking enough punishment. There's no reason for this to continue. I don't know what this referee's waiting for.
This is a disgrace by the referee, just allowing a man to take a beating. Absolute disgrace, and Moore's corner should also be ashamed, because he is just getting caught with shot after shot with virtually no hope of doing anything.
His corner should be in there just walking in. Even if it gets him disqualified, just save the fighter. Look at him, there's nothing left, but he's got a big heart, and that's what gets fighters in trouble. They're not going to quit.
Davey Moore has thrown nothing in this round, just taking shot after shot. And what will it take for this to end? What do they need to see?
This referee's a disgrace. This should have been started. There's Jose Torres on the lower left, former light heavyweight champion, begging him to stop the fight.
And that's what he does. The referee does not stop it. He takes instructions. There's the towel thrown in, which came from the other side of the ring. Referee did not even see this.
That bad move by the referee. That's the kind of indecision that gets fighters killed. That referee should have stopped that fight about 100 punches ago.
A disgrace regarding the referee, a disgrace regarding the corner of Davey Moore.
The corner should be ashamed of themselves to let their guy go up there and get chopped down when there's nothing he can do to change the outcome.
Even if they realized 5 seconds into round 8 they'd made a bad decision, throw in the towel then. Don't let him take 2 more minutes of this.
If you don't have a towel, get your butt in there and stop it.
So, a terrible finish for Davey Moore, and for Roberto Duran, a 3rd title has been annexed, and we're ready to hear the particulars. Roberto Duran annexes his 3rd title, and despite the end, which was disastrous, Tony, he deserves his credit.
Oh, Roberto Duran still has the skills, still has the power. I guess he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And Roberto Duran got here by the long road. Let's take a look at how he got into this championship when we come back.